everybody, and welcome to Fact Check TV. Hey, ladies.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
We'd like to welcome our guests this evening to Fact Check TV, here where our motto is that everything we do and say, what do we do first, ladies? Fact check.
Check.
Tonight, I'm going to give you guys a little briefing on why we're here. We also are a part of the Doc Ellis Foundation, where we provide opportunities, resources, and advocacy to minority communities to provide the lives of the poor, the poorly served, the poorly served, the underserved, the never served, and those traumatized by the atrocities of sex trafficking. On our panel tonight, as usual, we have Miss Jasmine. Then we have Miss Desiree. We have Miss Tanya. And we have Miss Michelle, who is going to introduce tonight our wonderful panelists that we have joining us here on Fact Check TV. So before Michelle starts, you all know what Mama J says. Grab your cup. I don't care what you got in it. Sit back, cross your legs, relax, and get ready for a hell of a show. Hit it, Michelle.
Hi, I am Michelle, and I am an advocate here at the Doc Ellis Foundation. And tonight I have a special guest. Her name is Katrina, and she will be discussing 3 missing loved ones.
Hi, Katrina. Welcome.
Katrina.
Hey, Katrina.
Hello. Hi.
So can you tell us a little bit about your loved ones? To my knowledge, there's 3 different individuals that you're related to that's missing. So can you give us a little bit about each one of them?
Absolutely. I'll start first with my baby cousin, Cieha Leonard, because she came up missing first. She was, I believe it was 18 months when she came up missing. Her mom took Cieha to her dad's house because she was gonna, go out and have a good time, which she truly needed after having a small child.
Right.
She went back to try and get the baby. The baby wasn't there. He said that the baby was at a friend's house. She went to the friend's house, never could find the baby. And to this day, I think Cieha would be 20. I can't remember. That's how long it's been.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is from Bartow, Florida, which is Polk County. Everyone knows about Polk County because of Sheriff Grady Judd, and he still has not been able to help us find any information on Cieha as well.
Wow.
Where's the father?
Well, that's a good question. So the father was also in Bartow and was actually went to jail because of stalking Cieha's mom, Miranda, and would call the house and threaten my grandmother, threaten Miranda, but would never tell what Cieha was. Ever.
Wow.
So nobody was ever detained for her missing.
No, ma'am.
Wow.
No.
So it was
Of course, our family, Miranda, which is my cousin, and my aunt Teresa, of course, they were investigated to see if they had anything to do with it. But finally, they cleared them. But there's never been a suspect named. But it was only 2 people that knew about Cieha missing, and that's my cousin Miranda and Cieha's dad.
And has there been any tips at all that have come in?
There was, I'll say about 5 or 10 years ago, saying that Cieha was actually buried underneath a house right next to the apartments where Miranda had dropped Cieha off. They did do some digging and never found anything. I can tell you, I remember, even though it was a long time ago, I remember when she first came up missing, we went up to Gainesville because that's where we got some tips that she actually was. Went up and put up flyers and everything, but still nothing came about.
Did
To
the
this
dad
day.
have like an actual solid, for sure, yes, I had the baby in my care? Because technically he had the baby in his care last, and everyone knew this. Like they knew for a fact that
Right.
he was the last one with his baby. There was evidence of that, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. He battered Miranda. Miranda got her teeth knocked out. I mean, there was blood all over the apartment, but it was Miranda's blood. It wasn't Tania's.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what does the support look like from law enforcement?
Now, I mean, but it's been like what, 15, 16 years. It's been a very long time.
Yeah.
They still have the same detectives on the case, but there's been no updates at all.
Dang.
Wow.
When was the last update?
About 15 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they don't do periodic
Update.
enhancements of her.
Age enhancements.
Yes.
The Center for Missing and Exploited Children did one, but nothing current.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what about his family? Are they not like supportive of you guys? Are
At
they
all.
trying? Wow.
At all.
As
Nothing.
if they have his back and they could care less what's going on.
Exactly. There was a I don't know if she wants me to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. We did think that Tania was actually found, but it wasn't her.
No. So what I want to do is we did make a short little snippet for those that are listening. Again, if you're listening, please like, subscribe, and follow so that this story can get out, so that everybody can help bring back those who are lost. But I do want to put a face to the name. So I do have a video that I will show of your loved ones, and then we'll come back and we can go into the rest of the story.
That is so unbelievable.
I love the video, and it's very sad, and I just have to say
I started tearing up.
Yeah,
I know, but I have to say, for those of you guys that are looking right now, and my OCD kicked in, the name in the beginning of the video was misspelled, so I will correct that. However, I do have the spelling on the screen, so please make sure you guys lock in the names of the individuals that are missing. I'm so sorry, I did not mean to make you cry.
that's okay.
I definitely want to be able to put a face to the names for those that are listening, and take your time, because I definitely want to hear about the rest of your loved ones. And so the individuals that are missing, they're all missing from Florida. Is that right?
Johnny is not. Actually, Johnny is missing from Tennessee.
Okay.
Johnny is my brother-in-law. Excuse me.
Take your time.
So, Johnny was actually on the way from Tennessee to go to Georgia to meet his to go and see his mom and his brother. He was with a girlfriend. Girlfriend said that they got into an argument, and she dropped him off on the highway and left him.
Mm.
And he has not been seen.
Wow.
What?
Dropped him off on the highway and left.
How long has that been?
2018.
Okay.
Sorry,
And
guys.
no one has.
No, please don't apologize. We totally get it. As a matter of fact, take your time.
Uh-huh.
If you need a
And
break,
who dropped him up on the side of the highway?
His girlfriend. He was actually in the car with his girlfriend on the way to Georgia to see his mom and his brother. They got into an argument. She said she dropped him off on the highway. Nothing. Actually, his mom just died.
This is a
Just
lot for one
died
family.
about 3 weeks ago.
Oh,
Oh,
Not knowing where her
man.
son was. Yeah.
So anything that we can do to help bring awareness to these situations, please don't hesitate to call us. Please don't hesitate to send us an email.
And this
we-
is
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, and this is exactly why we are here as Fact Check TV as well as the Doc Ellis Foundation, because it is so important that everyone, I mean, the minority communities, you know, the Latino communities, the Caucasian, it's just so important
Absolutely.
that people know and have knowledge of how frequently this is taking place
Yeah.
in the world and in this country. And it's just amazing to me to hear that. I mean, it's really tearing me up to hear that 3 individuals from one family has gone missing, and there's absolutely no information, there's no tips. It's just scary. And I just think that, you know, that it is so important that we all start educating ourselves on this, because like I always say never, because no one never knows when this ugliness is going to come knocking on their door.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. I know I'm crying because I'm a little emotional just seeing all 3 of them, but I'm also, excuse my language, pissed off
Of course.
because 3 people in one family, and detectives and police are not doing anything to help us. They do not keep in contact with our family members. They do not, if we give information, they don't take it seriously. And instead of being sad, I'm angry.
Right.
I'm very, very angry. And I have to bring awareness to this. If
Yes, you do.
I have 3 people in my family that's missing, there is a slew of other people that is happening to as well.
Yes.
But no one is bringing it to anyone's attention. And we have to make it known that this is not an epidemic, it's a pandemic.
Ooh.
Everywhere. This is happening, just like you said, to our Black and brown girls, to the indigenous, to the Caucasians. This is a pandemic, and we have to do something about it. It's time for elections. They need to get off their asses and do something about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Say that again. Say it again.
Absolutely.
And that's why I tell people all the time, it is very important, now that you've brought the election part up, it is very important that we pay attention to who we are electing to represent us in our state.
right.
People don't understand how important that is. If you know, research, investigate these individuals before, you know, so many people I hear say, well, I'm Democrat, so I'm just going to go down the line and vote for Democrat. Absolutely not.
Absolutely
You need to
not.
know. And I'm like you are, I'm angry at myself right now, because as an organization, all of us should have been picking up the phones in our local areas and calling some of these people that are running for office and asking them, what are you doing about this problem in our area? What do you
They are not doing anything in Florida. I can tell you that, because I don't hesitate. I'll pick up the phone. I will email. I hold no shots whatsoever at all, because I know I'm not the only one that's going through this. I'm not the only one that gets emotional seeing their missing loved ones. I'm not the only.
Did your brother-in-law's girlfriend take a lie detector test? Did she keep in contact with you guys?
No. They didn't even ask her to take one.
Mm-mm.
Was she ever a suspect at all?
I will say yes.
Okay.
Did she keep in
Um,
contact with you guys at all? Try to at least comfort you guys, help you guys, show you guys exactly where he got out the car at?
from what I understand, yes. She actually kept in contact with Johnny's brother, Brian, and that's a little touchy subject. So
Okay.
I'd rather not like go
Right.
into that.
Totally understand.
I'm sorry.
No,
It's
you don't have
okay.
to,
We
please.
understand.
By
course.
any means.
We're
We
just
totally
glad that
understand.
you were willing to come on our show and tell your story because, again,
Oh,
like I said, people need to hear this. Really,
absolutely.
people need
Yeah.
to hear it and they need to feel it and they
Mhm.
need to understand that. Again, I will repeat: we never know when it is going to come knocking on our door.
Mm.
We
I
just
would have never thought in a million years I would be talking to other people about 3 missing people in my family,
Right.
and I try and advocate for those, and I try and educate um that to other people, and it's just like I guess they're the same way I was before this happened to me. I'd keep
Right.
scrolling.
Right.
It's not my problem. It's
Yeah.
not my family. But when it fell into my lap that many times, it's like I
Right.
have to educate. I have to be the voice for the voiceless. I have to talk about it. I have to.
Right.
Do you
Yeah.
want to talk about your sister now?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Ooh, so Kaya Taylor. Kaya was last physically seen February 3rd. She was at her mom's house. She left, and February 6th is when they found her car running and abandoned on Trapnell Road in Plant City, Florida. Now, Plant City is in Hillsborough County.
Okay.
Hillsborough County is the 7th largest county in the nation for sex and human trafficking.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So they found her car running abandoned with the driver's side door open, cell phone on the ground. Now she's 28 years old. I'm 49 and I don't go nowhere without my cell phone.
Right.
But her cell
Right.
phone was on the ground. A passerby actually called the police. The police called, the Plant City Police Department called Hillsborough County because it was actually on the railroad tracks. So it was a county thing. So the county sheriff came and told them to move it to the side of the road. They shut her door, put the keys in, and the telephone, and moved it to the side of the road, and it just sat there for 3 days.
What?
What?
They did not run her tags. They
Mm.
did not do an area search at that time. They did not call, to see if the person that owned the car was in trouble or anything.
Lord have
Now,
Hmm.
I'm going to back it up a little bit because there's also another young lady, named Veronica Reyes Diaz, who went missing 3 weeks before my sister came up missing, 6 miles from where my sister's car was found.
Mm.
I'm telling you, Veronica and my sister look very much alike. They look more like sisters than me and my sister look like sisters.
Wow.
Wow.
But I'll tell you this. They found an abandoned car running and a girl already missing 6 miles away
Right.
and moved her car to the side of the road. They don't know if Veronica was trying to get away in this car,
Right.
hopped out of the car, anything. They just moved it and it sat there for 3 days.
Wow.
Now, it was said that my sister's boyfriend, mother actually saw my sister's car on the side of the road and called her boyfriend. Boyfriend called a friend. Friend called mom and said, "Hey, Kaya's car is on the side of the road. What's going on?" So they go and find it and call the police and say, "Hey, she's like, my daughter's been missing and her car's on the side of the road. What's going on? So they told her the story about what happened, things like that. They actually let her take the car back to the house.
Wow.
Yeah. They told her, get in the car, take it home. She's good, no issues.
No way.
Oh.
Yes. Now, during this time, it was torrential rains in Florida at that time. So,
Oh my God.
first of all, they always say the first 48 hours is the very
Most
most
critical. Yeah.
person. Well, it's already been 3 days that she's missing. Then they let her take the car home. So, I mean, take the car home. So you've got the guy that towed the car to the side of the road. You've got somebody getting in it and taking it to the house. Like,
Contamination.
the whole crime scene is just, it's
Well,
just
I mean,
screwed up.
if there was any forensics, they were all gone.
Right.
It's all gone.
Yeah.
It's
It's all been tampered
So-
with. And I'm not,
Exactly.
again, I'm not trying to be funny. I mean,
No,
but
it's true.
I'm kind of like you. I'm just straightforward and to the point.
Yep.
And I sit up and watch shows on missing people all day, every day. And it just baffles me how when a little Caucasian girl or woman comes up missing, they shut everything down immediately. Nobody's moving anywhere. Cars are going to be fingerprinted. Everybody's going to be brought in for questioning. The cases stay open forever because they're determined they're not going to retire until they find out who where this. I watch it all the time. And then it comes to the minority community, the African Americans, the Latino, the Hispanics. And it's just kind of like, oh, well, they're missing, and maybe one day they'll show back up and maybe one day. And this, again, is why I say we have got to start making our voices heard. Really.
Right.
Because
And what year was this, Katrina? What year was this?
2020. I'll give you a little comparison. Do you guys remember Madison Bell?
Yes.
Yes.
Went missing. How long did it take FBI to get on her case?
Girl, they was at the
A
mom's
week.
house.
A blink. You see me
A
blink.
blink.
I didn't
This
get to
was
wink my eye did it.
exactly. It was the exact same time that my sister went missing. Now, Madison
Wow.
Bell left on her own accord. They had
Wow.
FBI looking for this girl.
Sure did.
Blonde hair, blue eyed.
Yeah.
Same time as my sister. Do you know FBI still has not been called in my sister's case? It's going to be 3 years, February 6th of 2023. It'll be 3 years. Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office said FBI can't do anything that they can't do. They refuse to call FBI in. Now, on her phone, they did get her phone, so they used that as for forensics on her phone. Her last message was to her white boyfriend. I see you sent your white supremacist friends to get me. You think you're smart, but I'm smarter.
Oh my God.
That was her
What did it
last
say?
text message.
Oh my God. Her last text message to her white boyfriend was, I see you sent your white supremacist friends to get me. You think you're smart, but I'm smarter. And they didn't even think nothing of this.
No.
Oh.
They did question him twice. They did go into the house that she supposedly dropped him off at. And I'll go back again. He said she dropped him off at approximately 4:30, and her car was found approximately 7:15, less than a mile from where she dropped him off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
And that's where we are with my sister. She has not been seen or heard from since.
And they won't bring in the FBI.
And they will not bring in the FBI.
And they have no particular reason on why they won't bring them in. They're just saying they could do whatever the FBI could do. Even with the text message.
Even with the text message, it is not even a hate crime with that.
Wow.
We just did an interview the other day. Our organization did. Excuse me, my hair is bothering me. We just did an interview with somebody from New York University, and he was a Caucasian man. He was doing a study on missing minorities, and one of the questions he asked is, why do you think the police don't act?
I can tell you for my sister, she was a drug addict. She had actually just took the rap for her boyfriend with drugs in the car. And they were supposed to go back to court. I believe it was in March. So that's another reason he could have done something to her as well.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, I said, well, I answered it two ways. The first way I answered it was, if we knew that, we wouldn't be here.
Absolutely.
If we knew that reason, then we would resolve the issue if we knew why the police treat us different when we go missing. That's the answer that I don't think nobody has figured that answer out yet. The second thing is when they see that there's drugs that play into it, or gangs that play into it, or something that doesn't keep the pretty picture going, then it's not a story that's going to make mainstream.
Right.
If it's not, little Sarah, who was in her bedroom and snatched out her bedroom, and her family has this huge house living in the suburbs somewhere, that's the perfect picture. They don't have to worry about somebody digging through the crevice and finding a flaw.
Right.
If the moment they find a flaw, then all of a sudden that person doesn't qualify to be an individual that gets to be put on the mainstream.
And that's my thing. I don't care if, my 18-month-old cousin, she wasn't on drugs.
Yeah.
She was dark complected with a young mom and a young dad.
Yeah.
FBI still has not been involved in her case.
Yeah.
Period. Johnny, he is white.
Yeah.
Still have no problem.
Right.
No FBI. Well, what is it? To me,
right. What are the qualifications?
I think it's a class thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's high class, low class,
For sure.
middle class.
For sure.
I'm on that. I'm sorry. I'm like Fred Hampton. It's a class struggle.
Right.
Seriously. It is. It is. I mean, because like I said, in my situation, my sister, she's biracial. My brother-in-law is white. My cousin is all black.
Yeah.
What is the common denominator?
Class.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, because that's what I was sharing with a friend of mine earlier today. I was like, we're fighting for the minority community, but truly we fight for everyone, because you have certain Caucasians that if they don't fall into a certain, like you said, class, they get treated just like everyone else.
Yep.
It's all about the street you live on, your zip code, your income status. That's all the things. It's just like when we go to the doctor, the same things are looked at when they decide on what type of treatment they're going to give us. That this is how they're handling these individuals. Like she said, it's based on class, unfortunately. But again, I'm going to keep on screaming and saying, I think that this is the time and the place where we have got to make our voices be heard. We got to start knocking on these governors, these senators, these city council people's doors and telling them, look, we hired you. If I voted for you, and you win.
Right.
That means we hired you. You work for us. You're not going to tell us what you're going to do for us. We're going to tell you what you're going to do.
What we need. And
I'm paying enough taxes
right
to give it. Look,
exactly.
You need to do something for me. For real.
Seriously.
Well, and I definitely agree. But I don't think I can say enough that we don't give a damn.
Right.
Like,
Yes.
it's excuse my language, oops, but we don't give a damn. And that's the problem. Like I look at our show, I see that you go live in the group that you're in, the missing person group that you have. I see that there are a large amount of people who are creating missing person groups, and there are a large amount of people who advocate. I see that, but I don't see enough people who care.
Right.
Like, it's almost like having to create a Black Lives Matter movement for missing people.
And that's what we need to do. Absolutely.
It's like we have to create a movement because people are just not caring. They're not.
Absolutely.
They're not.
But what is the answer?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's almost
We just
like-
got to continue to educate and push it into their
Yeah.
face where they have no choice but to see it.
Right.
Yes.
Look,
It's
the
like that-
squeaky wheel always gets the attention.
So
So I'm
true.
gonna keep
Right,
squeaking that
So
wheel.
true.
It's like having that one bad body cam video.
Yes.
You can see 1,500 of them and go, "Oh, that was horrible. Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that was bad." Then you see one like, "Oh my God," and all of a sudden it just sparks a flare and it goes viral.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
it almost has to be like that. Like, and that's why I'm so big on creating. I create visuals when I'm
Mhm.
dealing with missing persons because it seems to catch people's attention.
It is.
Versus
It
a
does.
missing person flyer, they just scroll past it.
And,
Right.
and it's pretty sad that to push all of the people that I have missing in my family, I have to tell people I have 3 people missing in my family. That's not something I'm proud of
Right.
at all.
Right.
But it's something to get the media attention.
Right.
It's something to get social media attention. Like, how many people? Well, I can tell you, in Florida, I'd say 1 out of 3 people either have someone missing in their family
Wow.
or they know that someone's missing.
Yeah.
You know, a friend or they know of someone missing.
And I was going to
That-
ask you that. Did the news come and interview you guys?
No,
Have you guys?
listen,
That is
that was
ridiculous.
horrible. I'm gonna tell you how they covered Tanaya because Miranda got beat up and her teeth were knocked out, and they wanted to take pictures of this young girl who got beat up because her daughter's missing, and did she do it? Did the dad do it? It was like it was atrocious. Not about Tanaya. It was about Miranda getting beat up.
Wow. Unbelievable.
And for my sister, oh my God. I know I called at least 6 news stations more than 5 times and got 2 people to come out.
Damn, crazy.
Even the year anniversary, I think her mom had like 2 people from the news media that came out.
That's awful.
But it's all snippets. It's like a minute here, 30 seconds there.
Yeah.
No details, half-ass, basically.
Nothing.
My language.
I'm going to tell you also, if you put in missing in Google, in YouTube,
Uh-huh.
all of them are all snippets. 30 seconds here, 1 minute there. Like
Yeah.
this, nothing, just put missing. I'm not saying that there's not anyone that, really has something, but you put in missing, which is what people are going to look for.
Right.
There's nothing that goes into detail. And that's what kind of pushed me to say, okay, I need to start doing something
Yeah.
to get the attention out there.
Yeah.
I have a niece in Sarasota, Florida.
Oh,
Her
wow.
husband's brother 4 years ago had just purchased himself a new car. He was so proud. So he told the family, he said, I'm just going to take a ride down the highway and just blow my car out. He took a drive. That was 4 years ago. To this day, they have not seen him, have not heard from him, have not found his car. The police will not try to look for him. And this was like right at like maybe a year before we went into the pandemic shutdown. And I just asked my niece the other day and she was like, Auntie, do you know that to this day, the police will not even come out and speak with the family?
See?
They
What?
wouldn't even take a report.
And,
No.
and it's retarded because Florida's one of the top 3
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
for missing people.
Yep.
Like,
Right.
listen, Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, where my sister went missing, does not even have a missing persons division.
What?
No. So, the group that I'm in, the Missing Struggle, we have like 4 girls that are missing in Hillsborough County.
Mhm.
All of them are with homicide detectives. It's not any missing persons division. Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. It's a homicide detective that takes care of our
Wow.
case.
Something's
That's
got
how
to
it
give.
Explain that to me. Explain that to me.
Something's got to give down there. That's what
And The other thing that my niece was telling me, because I mean, I was mad at myself when I found this out and didn't know it. And I was sharing it with Desiree because I worked for the airline for years, and I lived in Florida. I did not know that there was a road that you can actually drive on that will take you from Florida all the way into Jamaica. And
Yeah.
my niece was telling me, she said, Auntie, she said, I can almost guarantee you that so many of these individuals that have gone missing, bodies are probably along that highway. She said, but the police in Florida, they don't care. It's like, okay, you know, and especially if it's an adult, you know, she says the first thing they want to say is, well, all adults have the right to disappear.
Absolutely. But I'm going to say this. I believe that there are police that are involved.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I said that last week.
I was thinking
If I should have sent you guys a picture of my sister and Veronica and Kelly. These are 3 girls that are missing in a 6-mile radius that look very much alike. Olive skin, dark hair, thick build, brown eyes. Something's going on in Hillsborough County.
Yeah.
I can't say. To me, there's 3 things that happened to my sister: either sex and human trafficking, her boyfriend did something to her, or there's something really going on in Hillsborough County that someone's taking these girls.
Yeah.
Something's happening.
Yeah.
But either way, I got to make some noise.
I was getting ready to say either way.
right.
Either way, the fight is on.
I mean, especially considering the fact that they all look alike, which is so, I'm still not understanding how they don't think this might be a sign. Let's get the FBI in here. Let's take the long route. Let's just go ahead and really dig into this. It only takes one girl to be missing for me before let's shut the world down, the borders down, call everybody out. But then it's 3 women back to back who favor each other. This is, what do they consider coincidence? This ain't it. This completely is.
Well, the bigger question is, what do you consider foul play?
Right.
Because you know, let's eliminate everything else.
Right.
What identifies foul play? Not the fact that the phone was on the side of the road and that her door was open and her car's there and she's
running.
That's not foul play.
Right.
Yeah,
her car was running on top of a railroad track on a major street that you can sit at 3 o'clock in the morning and see cars go by.
And how long was the car sitting there?
They didn't tell us how long it was sitting there. He said that she dropped him off at approximately 4:30. Her car was found between 7:15 and 7:30, and they moved it to the side of the road. And that's just sad.
Okay, but if I was a detective.
The reason why I asked that is because my son had gotten into a car accident in my car, and Highway Patrol called me to tell, and he left the car there because it couldn't get towed at the time, and they called me to tell me that car was there.
What state?
California.
Okay, but bigger than that, a car on a railroad track.
Right.
And
running.
That's suspicious.
Running.
With the phone right there.
And running.
Wait, it was not broke down on the railroad tracks.
Running.
It was running.
It was on top of the railroad tracks, running with a cell phone on the ground and a girl missing 6 miles away.
This 2020, anybody without their phone is a problem.
But
Madison anybody
Bell,
without their phone, it's a
Madison
problem.
Bell got FBI in a week.
The one who even decides to leave.
Still haven't got FBI.
I think we need to set a meeting with our local FBI agents
and ask them, what are the qualifications
before
you come out?
Qualifications.
Let me
just tell us the qualifications so we can understand when we need to call you. Because I mean, maybe we are misunderstanding what that means. You know,
we're not misunderstanding.
No, I know, but let's tickle their fancy because I'm curious to know what does it equal up to, or what exactly is it that you're looking for? I
Right.
mean, it's like the little girl that went missing who was adopted by the Caucasian family, the little black girl that went to the airport. The FBI stepped in the same day.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
The same day.
I
Went
remember.
to the airport, had video of her going and coming.
Did a press
everything.
conference right then and there.
Yes.
Did a press conference within a couple of hours.
I don't think it was a
still
couple
haven't
of
got a
hours.
press conference.
Yeah. The FBI came the same day. They had a press conference going within 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
The little girl that went to the party. What's her name? Just recently, she went to the party, came up missing. They found her car upside down.
Kylie. Kylie.
They shut that whole area
Video
down.
Yes,
The
they did.
entire area down. And they found her car somewhere close to where the party was in the water, upside down.
Yep.
But she was brought home to her loved ones. They didn't have to make it wrong.
Right. Right.
And I'm hearing you speak on the baby. We're just finding out just recently as an adult that we had a cousin. I don't even know what to describe her as, but I'll just call her cousin. A cousin of ours who went missing the same exact way when she was a baby, and we still have
Same age.
Same
Wait,
way.
but the story is the same. Do y'all hear me?
Drop her off.
Her mom went to work, dropped her off with the dad, and has never been seen. Dad was questioned one time and let go, and that's that. And she's been missing for 20-some years. I'm talking about mirror identical story.
It's longer than 20
Nobody.
seconds.
I'm gonna do a TikTok on y'all. That's suspicious.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes.
She's almost 40-something years old. She was 18 months old. She's almost 40. She is 40 plus years old because she's older than
Then us.
her sister and Jazz. And her mom, she said, periodically they do the age enhancement. She said, but she doesn't get phone calls. And she said that basically they told her that they could almost 100% guarantee that her daughter was not dead, that she was somewhere being raised by another family.
Yeah.
And they basically, she said in so many words, they were telling her, like, just be thankful that she hasn't been found dead. And the fact that somebody else, yes.
That blows me. Because they said the same thing about Tanaya. Like,
Wow.
it's crazy. It's
If you could ask the viewers, people that are listening right now, to help you do one thing to bring your loved ones home, what would it be?
share. I don't care if it's my sister. I don't care if it's my brother-in-law. I don't care if it's my cousin. If it's anybody that you see, share their missing flyer, because that one little share may get someone home. It's all about social media. It's all about news media. It's about everybody's on social media. Everybody's on news media. All we have to do is just educate and get their names and their faces out. It's not just about my family. It's about all of the missing, because it's a struggle. It's a true struggle.
Could you also do us a favor?
Years ago, they used to put the picture and information of the missing child on the back of the milk carton. Have you seen me? And
why don't they do that anymore?
I don't know. Good question.
No.
That's a great question.
And in I forget what, it was like 1983 or 84, because Jazz was a little thing. My sisters and myself and two of my sisters were flying to Michigan. And there was a lady on the plane with a little girl. And we were all like, it was just really strange the way she was doing with this little girl, because she was like, it was like she was over appeasing her, giving her candy, and she just had this bag full of all these different little toys. And all of a sudden my sister tapped me and she's like, Jordy, she says, that's the little girl that's on the back of the milk carton. So me and my other two sisters, we looked and we were like, oh my goodness. So as soon as we got off the plane, we made a call to the number on the back of the carton, and lo and behold, it was the little girl who had been kidnapped. And and I just was thinking about that. It would just it just hit my mind, and they ended up finding her and was able to return her to her mother.
Yeah.
But
So it sounds like we need to call Velda Farms.
Right.
Yes.
For real,
Yes.
let me
And figure out how we can go back to advertising on them milk cards. If that's the case,
because I'm saying, because back
honestly,
then, you had no choice but to look at it. You're looking at the milk cart and it's right in your face. So you're seeing the face, you're reading it. You're constantly, taking the milk out, putting it in, so you're constantly seeing it
in the face.
and then they would have it like on the side of like trucks.
Right.
Have that same billboard.
Yeah.
So you were constantly seeing that person's face. So if you did see it, you would recognize. Where now, if you guys notice, they hardly even advertise.
Right. And I was going to say that.
Like at the end of the news, but that's it.
Right.
We need to start calling the news media and asking them 3 minutes before your show and 3 minutes after your show, you need to be putting missing people up.
Here's the crazy part. The news, they do. I have a friend who's a journalist, and the news, if anybody noticed, the snippets they do as far as a news snippet will give you information. Years ago, they used to have an entire thing of the missing person. They got upset because they were flooded with too many false tips, and that's why they stopped. They used to have actual years ago, and I had a friend, she got fired for making noise about it. She ended up going to Netflix, but she's a journalist, and she said she was making noise and was trying to bring it back to where we need to have a complete a whole story of everybody for the week in our area that we broadcast to, of people, women, children, men that go missing. She made a big deal about it. They ended up firing her. She sued them.
Okay, but even like people like,
I'm gonna tell you,
platform.
I'm gonna tell you though, and even most importantly, for the viewers and people that'll listen to this later, if you feel something, react on it.
Right.
Yeah. I'm gonna share my little story. One day we went to LA. I live in Vegas, and we went to LA, and we were on the freeway coming home, and this car flew by. And what caught my attention was the paper plate was loose and it was flapping. So then when I looked, I said to my fiance, I said, that is so dumb, just casually. And he was like, what? I said, and it's illegal, because anybody that knows me knows I am so scared to commit a crime. Okay. So I'm like, and that's illegal. He's like, what? I said, they have a paper plate over their license plate. I was like, they're not supposed to do that. That's dumb. So we drove, about 4-hour drive. And out of nowhere, an Amber Alert went off. So I'm looking at the phone and I'm like, what color was the car with the plate? And he was like, I don't know, like a smoke gray. And I'm like, wait. I'm like, that's the car. He's like, no. I immediately got on the phone and called Corona Police Department, which is where the Amber Alert came from. I said, I just saw that car, but the car has a paper plate over it. So there's a plate and a license plate. I said, and the paper plate is flapping. I said, and they could really only be going to one place, which is Vegas, unless they're going through Las Vegas. And they were like, are you sure, ma'am? I said, I'm on the freeway going back home to Las Vegas. They got to be going to Vegas. The next day I woke up and I posted on Facebook what happened. The next day my phone was blowing up like, oh my God, Jasmine, check the news. Come to find out, the man had killed his wife in the house. The little boy, he kidnapped the little boy. The little boy was in the car, and that was the Amber Alert. And they ended up finding him in Las Vegas and arresting him. When you feel something, speak on it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why. If it doesn't feel right, it's not right. If it 9 times out of 10, it's not right if it don't.
Right.
I totally agree with you on that. I feel like to bring my sister home, that one person that saw that 30 seconds of when she got out of that car, or if she got out of that car, it's going to take just that one person that's going to break it for us, for us to be able to find her. And same thing with Johnny. if there was somebody behind that car and she did drop him off or she did not drop him off. It's just that 30 seconds.
Yeah.
People don't think that the information that they have is credible or important, but it is. No matter how small you think it is, it can break any
It
cases.
sure is. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
And I hope, and pray that a tip comes in, somebody sees it, somebody feels something. If you were, I know we're closing out, but just one more point. Somebody always sees something.
Absolutely.
Somebody is always
High five.
Everything you do, you could be in your house walking from one side of the room to the kitchen. Somebody walked by and saw a glance of you walking in your house.
In your car, digging in your nose. Somebody saw something. Somebody saw something.
Somebody saw something. Don't be scared to pick up the phone to put your tip in. If you don't feel comfortable calling 911, then please call the tip line that they have available. And Desiree, would you like to give that number out?
Yes. And we're also going to, just to let you know, Katrina, we're going to be posting it on our page as well as with the video of your family. The number to call is 813-607-5335. 813-607-5335. Please call if you have any information. You saw something that day. You think you saw something that day. If it kind of jogs your memory, if the story sounds familiar, that area sounds familiar, any small clue, what you think is, it's probably nothing, I guarantee you it's a puzzle piece. Right. And it adds up and it completes it and it goes with this story some way, somehow. So please call in.
In the words of John Lewis,
for
if you
each
see something,
of the people
say
that have
something.
come up missing as well.
Yes.
There's rewards. So call.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Katrina, for being here. We're going to let you go. We're going to check up on you. You don't even know how we are. We just this big old extended family. You probably don't even know what you got yourself into because we're going to be like, hey, we're just checking on you. How you feeling?
Thank you.
Just to let you know. But we're going to let you go. Thank you again so much. And you have a wonderful night. And please contact us at any time if you need anything.
Yeah.
All right.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Man, what a beautiful spirit. My heart goes out to them. In all honesty, sitting here talking to a person who has not one, not two, but three missing family members in a span of over 15, 20 years, as much as I'm against it, I'm really sitting here thinking like, damn, the only way to avoid this is to put a chip in everybody.
Yeah.
And it sucks. And it sucks to even think that.
Right, because I did like this. I was like, no.
I mean, in all honesty, I would rather.
We are still live.
I know, but I would rather the government be in my business. Oh, yeah. I would rather them be in my business, but y'all know where to find me.
Right.
But that's why we're here, ladies, because we're the ones that's going to make the noise and shake up the world.
Right.
Especially here in the United States of America. Because there comes a place and a time when enough is enough. And that was just baffling to me, really. I was really kind of stuck. I had a lot of things I wanted to ask, but I got stuck because in my mind, I'm trying to process a family, not missing one, not missing two, but missing three individuals. And the FBI is not even looking into any three of the cases. I mean, it's like, really?
You would think because it's a family missing three, that they would have the FBI would have some sort of empathy to say, we usually don't do these kind of cases.
Right.
But considering the fact it's three of them in one household, one family, whatever the case may be, let's gather around and at least try to give, because y'all have a bigger hand to play when it comes to searching, digging, researching. Put in a little effort and it's not going to hurt. I'm actually blown away by no news coverage.
And then the other thing that struck me as she was speaking, if any of you all were like on your P's and Q's and paying attention, the very area that her sister, was it her sister or the baby came up missing, is the very area, Jacqueline.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I caught it.
Mhm.
I caught that
It
as
makes
well.
me want to gather up as ladies and take a trip down there. In reality, on top of thinking, let's put a chip in every woman, then it's like, and then let's go spread awareness and tell everybody to go together as groups. And let's see
Mhm.
if we could possibly have everybody pay for a ring camera. Because guess what? Ring catch everything around here. Little kids knock a trash can down, Halloween,
Mhm.
trick or treaters
Yeah.
stealing candy. Let's start putting cameras everywhere. You can't nothing wipe away. The camera is proof. Whether it's on an officer or somebody's doorbell. Let's start pushing that narrative. How about everybody get a camera? You never know what's going on outside.
But
Put
even
cameras
like
places.
even like her sister's story, it's funny how certain aspects of it even line up with Nikki's story. The whole car situation, the
Mhm.
car being parked, Nikki's laundry still in the car, her sister's cell phone laying on the side of the car with the car running.
Right.
It's just like, and
Mhm.
you know, none of us are trained police
Right.
officers or forensics, but we have enough sense to know that
That's a
things like
little
that are not the norm. It's
right.
like these people aren't just getting out of their cars and leaving their phone laying on the side of the road and their laundry in the back seat and deciding I'm just going to walk off into the blue
Right.
and never return again.
That screams like help me. That screams
Yeah.
look into this. That screams
Yes,
this might need a little extra eye or attention.
exactly.
I
And
just
it's
don't
like,
understand.
And if you guys have any tips on the pictures that Jasmine just showed in regards to Jackie or Nikki, please give us a call. Please give us a call at 800-370-0830. Please. We have a hotline. We are open from 9:30 to 7:30 Pacific Standard Time.
and even if you don't have information on that, if you just know someone that has a loved one missing,
Absolutely.
please feel free to also call us. We go over and beyond to try to help family members and find their loved ones. So
Yes,
just
they
do
do.
not hesitate to call us. That is what we're here for.
Please.
Michelle talking about, yes, they do. Girl, you on this team too. Michelle, like,
That's
yes,
our
they
Michelle.
do.
That's
Yes,
our
we
Michelle.
do.
We do.
Michelle,
Wonderful.
Michelle, you are part of this family. You are stuck like Chuck, girl. And with that being said, we are coming to 58 minutes and 39 seconds live.
You
We
didn't.
want to take the last couple of minutes to discuss Giving Tuesday. For those of you guys who are not aware of that is the day that all organizations request donations from the community donors and sponsors. It's one of the biggest days out there, so lock it in 11/30/2022. 11/30/2022.
And no donation is small. And let me just break it down to you. We speak a lot about missing persons, and our organization focuses on so many different things. But in reality, we have so many projects we're trying to start up. I'm just be so honest. We want these safe houses placed all across America. Whether it's you have a family who's been sex trafficked, someone who's trying to get away, even a missing person who may even hear of the actual safe home who can go donate, help, and assist, because that's going to really get these projects off the ground.
Absolutely.
Every dollar is
No,
a
I
dollar.
was still
that
listening.
counts.
I was like, come on, tell us more.
I'm sorry. The baby was crying in the back and distracted me just a little bit. You didn't hear him?
I felt like I was outside, like, oh, what else y'all trying to do?
Yeah, we having a round table now because
I'm
it's like,
sorry. I'm sorry. But in reality, we have so many projects, and like Katrina just said, you scroll until it falls into your lap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't become that statistic. Assist, help. It's the smallest things. If by any chance I'm sitting at home, if I wasn't even a part of this organization and someone shared it and I saw it, I'm like, dang, they're about to open a safe house? Dang, they be making flyers. No, they got a mentorship program. This is wonderful. This could have been me one day. I'm going to help them. Because it's true. It could be you one day. She just said 1 in every 3 people in Florida either missing someone or know
better than
someone
that.
missing.
The very dollar that you donate is the dollar that might help us find your loved one. And that's how
Right.
people have to start looking at it.
Right.
The very
True.
dollar that you donate could
True.
be the very dollar that we needed to help you find your loved one. Because
Absolutely.
as I said, never say never, because
Man.
we all at any given day could have that same monster knock on
Man.
our front door.
Yeah.
I think when she said that monster, no, when you said that monster at your door, it was perfect timing to play the video.
Okay.
Wait, are we still live or say live?
Yes, we are.
Oh, I'm sorry because my camera went off.
We can see your people moving, but we can't see you.
I thought you were that monster.
I'm sorry. Let me
So
get my
with
camera
Giving
back.
Tuesday, we definitely want to take a moment to highlight one of the individuals that we are working with. Her name is Jackie Reyes. Jackie Reyes' daughter, Jacqueline Reyes, went missing in June from Palm Beach, Florida. We are asking that if anybody has any tips in regards to her disappearance, please make sure, like Tanya said earlier, that you give our hotline a call at 800-370-0830. And like Tanya was also saying, we are open from a certain time, Monday through Friday. However, we take tips 24 hours a day. If you don't want to talk on the phone, you can also text that number. We can get the messages by text. If you like to talk, you can give us a call. But 24 hours a day, we will take your tip. And with that being said, we'd like to share a message from Jacqueline's mother, Jackie.
My name is Jackie Reyes. My daughter, Jacqueline Reyes, has been missing since June 1st. And the Doc Ellis Foundation has been absolutely wonderful. And I'm so gracious and helped me to understand the process that it takes for investigation and everything. I am so grateful for the support for these ladies, because it also helps me a little more to understand the Black culture too, and trafficking and everything what these girls go through. But I am very, very grateful for them, because it's been a long journey for me, and then I got hooked up with them. So I just want to say these people are wonderful. Please support them. They are there to help and and guide me, is what's been so good about the Doc Ellis, because I'm limited to what information because of the investigation, but I know the case is being worked on, and I feel comfort that I know the case, even though it's been extremely hard. I am so, so grateful for them. So please support their foundation, the Doc Ellis Foundation. They're there to help. They're there, they need, they're there for the support you need, and looking for my daughter. And I feel confident in that part of it, even though this is extremely hard for me. But please support them. Thank you so much, Doc Ellis, for giving me that comfort.
Every time I see her video, I tear up.
Very, very touching.
Yeah.
I always say that it's no way that I can't say, oh, I know how you feel. This one of those situations, I'm in drug and alcohol counseling. They teach you, oh, I can relate. Oh, I can, when you talk to someone, I have no idea how that woman feels. And I would never say that to her. I would never try to get on that level. I just, so much empathy for her. My heart goes out every single time. I'm just sitting watching like,
Yeah.
I remember when Jasmine was about 3 years old, we were at a big family picnic and we were all playing this big, huge volleyball game, the guys against the girls. And all of a sudden, Jazz and I's dad, just at the same time, we made eye contact. And it was like, where's Jasmine? And we looked around and we didn't see her. And my brain literally, my whole body just stopped. My brain just clicked. And I went into overdrive. And I told them, shut this whole park down. They shut the park down. They brought in helicopters. I mean, everybody was running and looking. But I'm thinking about the panic I was feeling
in that moment.
In that Desiree, in that moment. And it was like we looked up and here comes Jasmine walking across the park with one of my aunties. And she was looking at all of us like,
what's wrong with y'all?
What's wrong with you big people? And, and you know how a parent is. Initially, I wanted to, and then I was
whoop
like,
her butt.
You scared me. And she was like, Mommy, I just had to go potty. But I'm just like remembering what I felt, how it like the life was just sucked out of me just in a matter of seconds. So I can only imagine what Michelle's and her family's been dealing with Jackie sitting over there going through all day, every day, not knowing, is she dead? Is she alive? Where is she? Who has her?
Why is she not calling? What can I do? Will I be here? Will I still be here to see her? I'm almost certain every thought process that you can think of as a mom, that's the last thing that as a family member in general, but even as a mom, and then this day and age is so different than back in the day. If your child was missing, more than likely your neighbor finna whip your child butt and bring your child home because he done wandered off down the street, one block, one door, one house too far past what they have the allowance to do. Well, now it's totally different.
I was watching a program the other night, and the young lady, African American woman whose child has been missing for about 4 years now, and she said, it's really funny. She said she was sitting in her room one day and it dawned on her. She said, when a family has a loved one that goes missing, the people, your friends and your coworkers or whatever, it's just like when somebody dies. Initially, everybody's there supporting you and rooting for you and holding up the signs and doing the rallies and the the candlelight vigils. She said, and then you wake up one day and everybody's gone away and nobody understands why you're still stuck right there. Exactly. She said, and you don't understand it until it happens to you. Absolutely. You don't understand it, and every day I just think about that. It's like there's so many people out there that need people like us because they don't have anybody to comfort them and tell them we're here in your corner. We're going to do everything we can to try to
help pictures, helping, assisting, calling, checking on. I tell everybody sometimes the acknowledgement is so big and it's comforting. Like I wouldn't, and again, I wouldn't know what to do. I would probably turn to strangers more than my own family sometimes because they'll sometimes be a lot more, they'll be more empathetic and then they'll understand a lot more. And in reality, we on the outside looking in and we want to get in so bad because we want to assist so bad that it's going to be it's not everybody on this phone call right now. We wake up thinking about the foundation. Yes. We go to bed thinking about the foundation. We find articles and we share it. We speaking throughout the day. It's just a nonstop because it's always something that can be done. And it resonates with us. It's just like, let's help, let's assist. What's next? Because that's how we feel. And I just
always wonder. I think about if we could just bring one person home.
We will.
Just one person.
Yes.
Nikki, the young lady that was here tonight, one of one of her family members, if not all three. Jackie, bring her back home. It's just like, you know, I just don't understand why there's not more attention given to this cause. I just don't. And after hearing the young lady tonight, it just really, really, it's frightening to know that.
In my mind, I'm like, we need to call FBI, like Jasmine said, and figure
Well, I
out
know the
what's the
FBI told my
qualification.
family that they can't come in unless the police called them in.
What?
Yes.
So the police are the ones. So, okay, so that's where we'll start. We'll ask the police, what are the qualifications to where you finally feel FBI needs to be called? Why can't we make it as the people to where we change the rules of it and make it a base to where, you know what? It's a person missing. It's been this amount of time. The family said this is not like them. Call FBI. Call FBI. FBI has enough money. We pay their salary. They got enough money. Have a whole task force that's based solely on missing persons. Don't start pulling somebody off a different case. Don't start pulling Bob from the mail room. Have a complete section that's only for missing persons. And when the police call you, I mean, I'm quite sure to get overloaded, and I understand. They could come for 2 days. Come and assist.
And
I know in Nikki's case, they are assisting.
I just want to say something really quick. Tanya, the next time you on this show and you let these dates be wrong the whole show to text at the end of the show to say the Tuesday given is on the 29th and not the 30th. We're gonna be looking at your door, okay?
No.
It's the 29th, guys. Everyone, it's the 29th. Tuesday.
Cut your camera off.
Well, we should all be in trouble for that.
Yeah.
29th.
And I'm looking here, sitting here, just looking at the day, given Tuesday, 11/30, 2020.
Man, and I think I even said it out loud. I repeated the date. You know where my mind is.
But this is what I was going to say to Michelle, since she said about the FBI. But don't you find it strange how they tell certain families that, but then there's other people who has a loved one comes up missing, and the FBI is a part of the case right off the bat? We see it all day on TV. Let one of your local government officials or one of their families come up missing. Oh, well, you know, the FBI is stepping in to take over the case. But then when it comes to just ordinary, everyday people, they have to wait for the police
to make that phone call.
Yeah.
And guess what, Auntie? I'm so glad that you even brought up the point of the missing persons on the milk cart, because that is a good question. Why did you stop? And then it's what in my opinion, in all honesty, I feel like milk is such a common item in every household. I don't even drink milk and it's a carton in there right now. And I just feel like resorting back to putting that on there. Now, two things. Not only is it now bringing awareness again and everybody has their eye out, it makes it a little harder for those that participate in these wrongful activities, so to say, whether they're the people that's doing the grabbing, the kidnapping, that's helping them, that's hiding. They're a little bit more cautious. It's like, oh, now they got a new way to find people. I'm not even going to try it. They're going to be on the milk carton or on the
I have one better than the milk carton, because I know one of the reasons that they're no longer on the milk carton is because they stopped using the carton for most milk. But I have a better idea than the milk carton. How about you start putting those missing children on cereal boxes?
Right.
Juice boxes.
Or on a juice box.
Juice boxes.
You know, the parents look at the cereal box, children look at cereal boxes, and these kids nowadays, they're very intuitive. They pay attention to detail. They might notice somebody before the adult even notices it. You know, and when we were sitting here earlier talking about it, in my mind, I'm thinking they did take it off the milk carton, but why not put it on the back of the cereal box?
Right.
You know, something that not only does the parent look at, but the child looks at, you know. So the viewing audience is even larger, but it's like, do something. Do something. Advertise these young girls and these young boys and these young women and men that have gone missing. It's
I
like,
didn't even think about the juice box. That's a real good one.
You know, I want to call people like Ricky Smiley, Oprah Winfrey, people like those that have these large platforms. Why can't you all at the beginning and end of your show feature one or two missing individuals, you know, and just put their name and their picture out there. You don't have to do a whole lot. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If we can do it here on YouTube, why can't you all do
Right.
it? And you
With
all
the
got-
larger platform, with
Yeah.
more fan base, to people who, do you have people that are these famous artists? They're fans to where whatever they say they're gonna do, whatever they support, they're going to support. Start
Yeah.
putting it out there. Even with these rap artists, these actors and actors who have kids, I'm sure you have a busy schedule, but is it that hard to share it to your social media?
Not at
Hell,
all.
They
half
share
of
it.
y'all have a PR team that handles your social media for you. Let's just be
Right.
real.
Yeah.
They can do it for you within a matter of 2 seconds.
Yes,
Why is that so hard? It seems
For
like
real.
we're chasing the celebrities down to ask them to retweet us. We ain't getting no money off of that. We just
No.
Like
want the
At
to go
all.
bigger.
At all.
Jasmine came over the other day, and when she walked in my front door, she's like, it ought to be against the law for all those signs to be out there. And in my mind, I'm thinking, Jazz, what signs? She said, all those signs for all these people that's running to be elected.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, the same way you all make those big signs and have them lined up all down,
Do
up
that,
and down
yeah.
the street in Las Vegas, why can't you make signs like that and feeture a different child every other month or every 2 months?
Yeah.
That's a
Just
great
put it-
idea.
You know what I'm saying?
Put it
Yeah,
at the school, put it at the
billboards.
local, at the park, put it at the library. Make an actual sign. You got signs on the freeway: don't drink and drive, report a friend, accident ahead. Put the kid up there. Put an actual visual picture of it. Make
Yeah.
it to where even if someone, again, in my opinion, I feel like if someone is wrong and they're involved and they see that, it shakes them up. Like, oh, they making a lot of noise about this missing person.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous about this, and this one got something special going on because they're doing a lot to spread the word. You know what I'm saying? Just
Well, like-
make a lot of noise.
Like the park right across the street from me, they have a big advertisement sign.
Mhm.
They advertise everything.
They do.
Buy one, get one free at Wendy's.
Right.
You know, they
They do.
advertise the sale going on at the Mexican market or the farmers market. Why
Yeah.
can't you all put one
A child.
every month, feature another missing child, and let that person's picture and information stay up on that board for
Right.
one solid month?
Right.
It-
I'm agreeing. It's
And
not that hard.
I think what we should do, one of the things we should work on, and I think we already said we were gonna do it. We just didn't make a decision when, is we need to go state by state and find out the exact statistics on missing individuals in that individual state.
Mhm.
Right.
Because
Right.
I think sometimes if you could just show people that lived in a certain state, this is how many people are missing just in your state alone.
I agree.
Yes.
You know, this is how many thousands of young people are missing in California. This is how many are missing in Ohio. This is how many are missing in New York. I think people would pay more attention when they're looking at this. They're not talking about what's taking place in the United States. They're talking about what's just taking place in the state I live in. And I think people might pay, because I just don't get how people can scroll by stuff like that. I can't. I can't. And I know Jasmine doesn't. You know, because she's always up on
Yes, she is.
who's missing and, you know, who's
Yes.
she just really is. She's very in tune to her surroundings and what's going on right here in the city that she lives in. You know, sometimes I can call and say, Jazz, did you see some? Yeah, Mom, I already seen that. Didn't you see? I sent you the video, or I sent you the link to it, and I'll go to my phone and I'll be like, oh wow, she sent me that like 3 days ago. So she really knows what's going on. She really know what's going on in her community, you know. And I just think we should do more of that.
Yes.
Well, as an organization, we can't,
Yeah.
one thing at a time. We definitely we have, for those of you guys who are still watching, we do have the Pink Heart Funds that Miss Michelle created and came up with. Pink Heart Funds will allow us to be able to, supply families with funds that they need to be able to go out and look for their loved one, to print the flyers,
Get expensive.
Yeah, it can get expensive, and people can't afford to take off work, and they can't. Bills don't stop because your loved one's missing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, actually, I would assume that it gets harder. So
Oh, yeah.
that's exactly what the Pink Heart
And
funds are for.
and ladies, maybe one of the things we should put on our organization wish list is that we will be blessed in the near future to have our own social media platform that is strictly and only for
Dedicated.
missing and dedicated to missing persons.
Human trafficking, sex
You know,
trafficking.
if they can do it, we can too.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah,
if they
Donald
can do
Trump
it, we
did it.
can too.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Michelle, over there?
I said Donald Trump did it.
Right.
Right.
Why can't we?
Right.
Exactly.
You
Right.
know?
Well, with that, ladies, we have hit an hour and 21 minutes.
On this Thursday evening, we
On
get an
this-
hour and 21 minutes, Jasmine.
on this Thursday.
On this Thursday.
Michelle, thank you so much for bringing your guest. She was a pleasure to speak with, and I really hope that something comes of it. And again, I don't even know how to address people with a family member, let alone family members missing.
Yeah.
And I'm glad she was able to. In my opinion, if it was me, I'm going on every talk show, radio show, internet radio, your mama
That's
house,
what-
and I'm calling.
I do.
I'm just spreading the word and letting
Yeah.
y'all see the pictures of my family members. And I'm grateful that you were able to speak with her and have her come on here. So thank you. And
Yeah.
to Katrina, if you're listening, we are definitely going to share that picture and that phone number and the group that you're in. And hopefully, and I'm praying something pops up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we definitely want to stay very closely in touch with her
Yeah.
because she would come in. She could play a big part in our new endeavor that we're talking about, the whole support group thing.
Mhm.
People like that to come in and share, like Jasmine said, their experience, their strength, as well as their hope, because I know Michelle can attest that hope is what keeps her going. Faith and hope
Absolutely.
that, you know, they're going to find out something one day. When, she doesn't know, but, you know, and I think that as we bring these individuals onto the panel, these women, and hopefully we'll be able to get some men that can come on and share about their experience with missing loved ones, you know, their children missing, or siblings who are missing, or family member who is missing. So I think tonight, I think all of our shows are excellent shows. So, I mean, I'm not the one to brag, and I'm definitely not the one to gossip, but Fact Check TV got it going on.
With that being said,
Good night.
Bye.